Right, let's have a look at BIOS Megafauna 2, 2nd edition. I'm not going to be able to get the whole thing in the camera at the same time. Not a hope in hell. So let me just move this. Awesome artwork, by the way, loving it. And this is another Phil Eklund game. So it's hugely complicated and I obviously will balls some of this up. Right. The main parts of it are, first of all, to get these out of the way. These are used, you'll probably remember these from BIOS Genesis. These little guys are used on cards. I'll show you the cards in a minute. But over here, very far left, we have these green discs. Green discs represent the oxygen. So at the moment, there is not a lot of oxygen. And when these go down, there's more oxygen. I'm not even going to pretend that I understand all the science behind this, because I don't. The middle one here is clouds, and again this will go up and down, and there will be rainfall, no rainfall, clouds, no clouds, that kind of thing. And this one here is atmosphere, the black and the white discs. This is also going to dictate whether we are in a Eden zone, or we start to go into a warm zone or a cold zone. If we're in Eden, we have this strip here, which is removable. And if we go into the warm zone, that strip will get swapped out and we'll be using a kind of too hot, and it'll be different results. There's little dice icons here. We have 4 different continents and each one is a dice. That dictates which level it's on, really. So these are all on level 4, which corresponds to this dice number 4. And if they were to move up, that dice will change lower. If it moves down, the dice will get higher. And it's just a gauge to show you quickly that this guy is on level 4 here, in case he moves up or down. So just a quick kind of way of looking at things. Some have got a green disc here and a black disc. They represent different parts of the continents. The continents will move. They can move up and down, left and right. They can smash into each other, causing all sorts of chaos and anarchy. We have what they call Goldilocks cards here. They will change as well. If this strip here changes, these cards will change. And it'll give different results. These are called extraterrestrial events. These are going to tell us what is happening here before we start doing our stuff. And we've got 2 eras, era 1, era 2. So I'll show you an example card. So you have the cards are like this. And it will give you who's going to go first, second, third. An event there possibly. And some other events here, and that can be well, this one here means that we must turn one of these cards here. So I'll take one from the bottom just to show. Don't want to spoil it, you see. So that matches up with the other card. Tells you there that a plate is going to move or get hit by something, and then more events. So those are going to go there. This is basically the setup ready to go. The other thing that we have is a whole bunch of cards. And they are green and blue and red and yellow. I'll show you the red and yellow in a wee second. But you have a whole bunch of cards. Try and get these not glared. So you have a whole bunch of cards giving you all different stuff. But at the top, you've got icons because they correspond to what can be on the back. So you can have down feathers there, flight feathers there. All depends on which one you qualify for, which one you want to do. But these are a kind of mutation that you can upgrade. This is what the cubes are for. The cubes are going to go there. And, you know, that would be a white cube. So you have loads and loads of these. That's only half of them. So we have, as I say, green and blue, and oops, just wrecking the place again, and we have red and yellow ones. Again, same idea. And these are all going to match up with each other. So, you know, if you've got a head and a tail, you have a crazy creature type thing. I will explain all these bits and bobs later, honest. I hope. We're going to do 2 players. There is a solo mode, but I'm just going to do 2 players. We're going to have an orange player, and we're going to have over here a green player. This is kind of represented by slugs. It is hydroskeletal invertebrate. Yep, that. And the green one is cytoskeletal ossifita. I've probably butchered that, but it's got a picture of a mushroom. That's all we need to know. The dice here is the size. Just size 1 to start. These are all, on this card, they're all going to be unborn. If they move to here, they're going to be newborn. Then on the map, and they can all just fight with each other. Great. I think that's most of the main components. The only other component is this one. It is a special card, the Medea card. Super Villain it's called. Whoever holds this card makes decisions which can either screw the whole game up or end up passing it to somebody else, and so on and so on. So it's a very powerful thing, but the rules that go with it prevent you from abusing it. So we'll come to it, but it's a good idea because it means that the green player's getting it first because they've got the lowest skeletal value. And if they were to abuse it and make a horrible event happen, then the card automatically goes to the other player, who can then try and regain a balance or use it back to destroy the green player or something crazy. Right, probably the worst description ever, but you'll see what happens, honest. You'll see it. Right. Oh, there's a whole bunch of other, we've got these little dome things. The dome things are a nuisance as well. Oh, I hate them. You try and pick it up and it just pings away. Anyway, we have a whole bunch of other little guys. We have little fish looking guys, snail looking guys, flying bug type things, and wormy looking things. And these all come into play if people manage to get mutations together enough to change from just being a blob dome thing into being an actual animal. Doesn't mean they're going to become a fish. It just means that their creature can swim, you know. So you could end up with a plant that can swim. It doesn't mean it's a fish. It just means it can swim. Oh, right. And that was just the intro. There's loads of other stuff as well, but we'll come to them when we actually hit it. So let me get the first cards out and we'll get started. Right, okay, first thing we need to do is decide who's going to go first for this first turn, and I'm going to go with the boxed rules rather than the living rules. So I'm just going to use the first card as who is going to go first, and it will be, we have black, red and green. So we have, well, it kind of looks red there, but it's orange. Orange and then green, so orange is going to go first. That's it, we don't use anything else in the first card. Orange is going to go first. Now, there are some icons on the card to tell me how many actions this guy is going to get. His actions are linked to oxygen. So he's only got 2 actions, which is on this board here. So he's got 2 actions that he can do. That's the snails, the greens, who are the fungusy type things. They are linked to Atmosphere, and they have got 3 actions. So these guys have got 2 things that they can do. The things that they can do, which are in the book here, which I'm looking at, they can mutate, which is the cards up here, which I'm going to put those out in a second. They can promote a mutation, flip it. Speciate, which is that they take a card that's promoted and become like a, you know, they can swim or they can fly. Populate means that the unborns become newborns and can then go on the map. Neoteny is where they can remove cubes. I've never used it, to be honest, not going to lie. They can resize, they can change the dice. 6 is the most you can get. They can resurrect. If they are wiped off the map, then they can come back in. And they can claim Medea, which is the supervillain card. Now, part of my setup is that these cards need to go out, which I forgot to do. Bad me. And the cards are going to shuffle up. So when a card gets used, the other ones will shuffle up for the next player. So, good there. These guys live here with that icon. And these guys live here. So, we're good to go. And orange is going to go first. So, they can buy these mutations. The number of these guys is 6. And there's a card here, just a kind of help thing. And it tells you that these cards are worth, first column is 0, 2, 4, 6. And the top ones in the bundle are 8. He's only got 6, so the most he can buy is the first 4 columns. He can't buy these. They're worth 8 each. So he could buy mutations. That would be one thing. So he's only got 2 things that he can do. So let's have a look at the mutations, right? I'm not going to read them all out because again I'll just butcher the names. It's pointless. There's things like clawed toes, air sacs, olfactory organs, a downy parachute seeds, which if you're a snail is a bit odd, but it can happen. The thing is, blue ones I find are the most handy. And for this, he's basically getting it for free. So first thing he's going to do is take this blue mutation and gets a blue cube. Lovely. And we'll say the second thing he's going to do is populate. Now, if he's going to populate and go on the map, the amount that he can put out 1, not a problem. You can then add more for each blue cube that you have. So he can now put out 2. Beautiful. And that's it. He's done. He's took his 2 actions. Green fellow here, he has 3 actions that he can do. So we shuffle the cards up, put a new one. Now, there's a special rule for the greens. They can only buy certain icons in the top row, or certain cards. They must have what's called a horror plant icon, which is this sort of thing. Looks like the plant from Little Shop of Horrors. If it's got that on it, he can buy it. Otherwise, no dice. So he can buy olfactory organ or xylem, which is some sort of tree thing. And he can buy the bottom row stuff. He's got 6, so he cannot buy that blue one, which he would quite fancy. He quite fancied that blue card, but he can't have it. He could buy a red or a yellow, and there's 4 greens available. Bit of a bummer, really. If he was to buy the olfactory organ, he could probably at some point flip it and get a blue cube. Okay, we'll buy it and see what happens. What the hell? Again, I have no major tactic for this game. Don't copy me. I will balls it up. I will end up with some crazy creatures that are useless. So we'll say his first thing he's going to buy is this. Gets a red cube. He's going to also populate, we'll say, and he can only put one because he doesn't have any blue cubes. And we'll say for the third thing, he's going to size up from 1 to 2. So 3 actions, done. Next thing is to decide where we are going to put our population. This is mothers and dispersal, it's called. So the ones that are on the map are mothers, and any you put in have got to come from those mothers. So we've got 2 here, 2 orange, and they are going to have to live on this bit somewhere. You can what's called raft, following the wind, blah blah blah, we'll get to that later on, but for the moment he can't. Take my word for it, honest. Now you've got dispersal points, and that is your size plus the amount of blue cubes, which is 1 plus 1, 2. So this guy can go 2 movement points away from this mother one. Most of these are a 1 for these guys. It changes depending on, you know, if they can fly and if they swim and that kind of idea. If you're going through most things like green or brown, it's usually just 1 point to move. If I was going through this, that counts as ice, and that'd be 2. So it would be 2 to get in there, and I'd be stuck and I couldn't stay there. There is things like being endangered and all that kind of stuff. But we're going to say this guy is going to move 1 to there, and then 1 into there, into what's called the swamp. There he goes. These guys, there's a kind of handy dandy movement rule cards. These guys cannot live in the sea, which is obviously these ones. So this guy, we will say, is going to live here. What the hell? So they've done, orange has done dispersals. Green, same idea, but green can only move size plus blue cubes, but he sized up to 2, so he can move 2. So he is going to go there, 1, 2. So that's the whole dispersal bit done. There's another section for any that are endangered, that kind of thing, where they would come off the map. We'll come to that later. I'm sure there'll be plenty of that happening. But that is it for the first turn. There's not much excitement. You know, the whole Earth thing hasn't thrown any catastrophes at us yet, but don't you worry, that'll happen next turn. Almost guaranteed. So, shuffle these up. Ready for the next turn. They're all pretty crap cards. They're all yellow and green. Oh well. Right. Time for the next turn.